And we are live at 8 a.m. How's everybody doing? Friday. Finishing off a couple of eggs. I'll be right with you. What's more important, chat or food? How about food? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. What we got here? Lag. Good morning. 24K Big Al. Or Little Al. Depending on what you're looking at. Oh, can y'all hear me? Sorry. Had the mic up by my bald head again. Mike, pull it down. Got it. So, Diane, how you doing? Yeah, happy Friday. Yeah, Sadie. Once again, I'm all up here in my lonesome. Sitting here by myself. No co-host. But that's okay. Let's see, I'll put an invite in the side chat here. Hi, David. How do I know you, David? Do I know you? That dang internet. So, if anybody wants to come in and chat, there's the link. Just make sure when you join the chat and you get put in the green room, that I can see that it's actually you and not somebody with their Johnson hanging out. Alone again, naturally. You've been subscribed for you don't know how long. I've been on YouTube. I looked back at my first video a couple of weeks ago just to look, see. My first YouTube video was about 9 years ago. Like number 2, my friend. You're my second subscriber. Cool. Are you a stacker? Are you a reseller? That's the main topics we usually talk about on here. Either stacking gold and silver or lag was number 1. Yep. Yeah, there's the link. Somebody come in and put the banter on with me. You're just on YouTube a lot. Okay. Well, cool. Just peruse the different shows going on. There you go. Mr. Sadie, he stacks it up and his wife unstacks it. Uh-huh. Tom, the pain in the butt.
Hey guys, how are y'all? How are you doing this morning, Todd?
When I read that deal out beside your name, I thought it said the porn something.
Yeah, I'm a former porn star. I've retired.
Okay, good to know.
No, it's not. Oh Lord, it's hot. I've been outside feeding up the livestock.
Queen Tom. There he is.
How are you this morning? Sorry I was late.
Silverhairstacker community. All right, there you go, David. Uh, Maybe we'll talk a little gold and silver today. Tom's got some gold and silver. Or he gets it and then he just puts it away for his kids.
Yeah, I'm buying the horde.
He's a gold hoarder. Almost said gold whore, but I didn't. Cindy, if I wanted to buy silver at Christmas as gifts for my children, where and what should I buy? They actually have some Christmas themed rounds on the different online bullion dealers that you can pick up. But they charge a few dollars extra to get that type of silver. It just depends on if you want to do it like to celebrate an occasion. You may have to pay a few dollars more to get a silver coin with Santa Claus on it or a Christmas tree or something like that. They used to do that a lot from the 1970s up through the 80s and 90s. Yeah, silver spot price is $19.30 an ounce, so I think that's a bargain because it hadn't been very long ago. It was almost $30 an ounce.
Cindy, if you really loved your children, you'd buy them gold. You're only pretending to love them, giving them silver.
It depends on how much she gives.
Yeah,
If she gave me 100 ounces of silver apiece or a 1 ounce gold coin, yeah, I would take the 100 ounces of silver myself. If it was going to me. Yeah.
it's but yeah, we just buy it and stick it in our lockbox. We don't
At the bank, do you have a bank to
no,
put it in?
we keep it buried in the backyard.
Okay. Underneath the back 40.
Yeah. I was looking at not YouTube, at Craigslist, and there's some people giving away a couple of fireproof safes. Now, I do have an experience with fireproof safes from when I was working for a company. I got called I found out where they were at, and I called and got an estimate for 3 men in a truck to go move them, pick them up and move them for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just about go buy a new fireproof safe for the price it was going to cost that. Now, mind you, I'd be getting two, but that moving those things are
Make it?
expensive.
Barely. Gwen was out walking.
She's getting ready for that trip.
Yeah.
Todd,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to get out and walk with her now, so she won't be leaving you at the hotel room.
No, I got the treadmill over here.
How many miles you got on it since y'all planned this trip?
I don't know. Haven't kept track. I do about I do about 2 miles a day when I get on it. 2 miles a session. But I'm slow. God, it's incredible how much longer 2 miles takes to cover than it did when I was 30.
No, Todd, Gwen's going to be wanting to hustle about because she is thin and spry. You're just going to have to catch up with her, or she's going to be trading you in for a younger model.
Well, yeah, probably. Uh, I'm surprised she hadn't yet, cause I'm old and cranky now. I used to be young and skinny. We're gonna talk gold and silver. I better get some out to show.
Yeah. You need to go in there and go ahead and get a handful out.
See what I can come up with for
When are you leaving for your
show and
cruise?
tell.
I mean, your trip?
Oh, I don't
Sometime in
share that
September?
I don't share that information on the live YouTube. Come on, man. Somebody would come in and
Todd, they got to get past security, the Rockwilders.
Rockwilder,
Yeah. Well,
Rockwilders.
how about let me know in the face, in a
I'll
private
just say
Facebook.
September.
That's all I need to know right there.
Yeah, next month.
Well, you better get those 10 miles going a day going.
I've been doing it. 10 miles a day. No, I think those days are gone. These fishing boxes, they make good protective silver holders. Do the morning show from the boat. I'm not getting on a boat.
He's going to be on land based this time.
We're going to be out walking around Italy.
Is it one of these where you're going to be with 50 other old people?
I don't know the age of the other people. That last trip we went on in October, the ages ranged from 32 to 80. So, my bad, from the yacht. Yeah, we're getting on a yacht.
That's what I want to do. I want to get 10 of my closest friends, and I'll put in $10,000 a piece and rent one of these big mega yachts for a week down in the Caribbean.
Here we go. David, do you have pandas? This is the one out. You know, United States puts out the same 1 ounce silver coin year after year after year. They did switch designs in the middle of last year, but the Chinese, they put out a different panda coin every year.
That's government issued there.
Yeah, this is put out by the Chinese Mint. There's the temple, or what are the shrine? What are the
I
is
know
that
what you're talking about.
is that in Beijing? What do they call that? It's not Vatican Square. It's something like that. It's got a name. The area. I think it's where the emperor used to live.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is 2015, so I've had these a while.
Now, did you ever buy any of these that are, they're selling on TV? It's like issued by the government of Panama, the silver coins and the ones that's been painted. Or are those just, is that like Franklin Mint kind of stuff?
Oh, there's a lot of different companies that have colorized coins.
But are they real silver? Or are they fake silver?
Well, you can buy either one. 40K in that box. No, that's not 40K. There might be 40 ounces of silver in this box. These are the Australian mint Kangaroo. And they are government minted, and you know that
Are they now?
because there's Queenie on the back side.
Okay. Her Gracious Majesty, not Queenie.
Oh, whatever. Maybe that's why I didn't get invited to tea when we were in Great Britain.
Yeah, that's just it. No respect. Um,
There's one from the Royal Mint of Canada.
that's a big one, isn't it?
And it's 1 ounce of silver. Pepperminted. Ah ha ha, you're so funny, Craig.
Roberta was just saying a little bit ago, we might need to buy a little bit more.
And of course, Queenie is the Queen of Canada too.
Yep,
How many
and Australia.
how many countries is she queen of?
She's actually only the Queen of the United Kingdom, but she's also head of the Commonwealth, which is Canada and Australia and New Zealand, and then a bunch of Caribbean countries, South Africa. I
Let's
think
see,
there's
is
like,
that I guess that's a polar bear. My webcam really sucks for looking at something up close like a coin.
no, Todd, you're a successful YouTuber. You need to upgrade your equipment and get you a nice camera with all that YouTube money you're making.
There's the standard Canada maple leaf coin. The maple leaf is kind of like the American eagle. It's their go-to, and the obligatory Queenie. Almost our queen. Well, yeah, that's true. Hmm. So, $39K. Yeah. Oh, Bonnie, what are you gruffing at? So, independent mints will put out coins for almost anything. I saw on Pawn Shop. What's that show?
Yeah,
You remember the old man?
yeah.
They had a bunch of silver coins with the likeness of the old man put on them.
I was about to say Gwen needs to have a coin made of you.
So this was minted by the Republic of Liberia, which they don't actually have a coin there, or they don't have a mint there. So, but countries will sell permission to use their country
Excuse me.
as to make it an official government minted coin.
Right.
So this is probably made in a German mint. But this celebrates the IndyCar racer Ayrton Senna, Formula One.
And where's that minute or issued by?
Liberia.
See, that would be a pretty good. All these NASCAR people could license their image to go in a coin.
So Canada did a bird of prey series. So this is an owl. There's a red-tailed hawk. So I don't know. We're just sitting here, Jack John.
No,
The
that's
Australian Mint also did a series of alligator or crocodile coins. And the Queen. So yeah, this is a government minted coin. These have had the same design ever since they started, like 30, 35 years they've been making these.
That's U.S. coins.
This is not.
Oh, I thought you said it was. I mean, I thought when you said it's the same coin. I thought it was a U.S. coin because you were talking about earlier about they hadn't changed the design on them.
This is the Austrian mint.
Okay.
They call it a Philharmonic. On one side they've got their pipe organ, and on the other side they got pictures of violins and cellos and string basses and a harp and a French horn. Aha. And there's also silver bars you can get. This one's called a Johnson Matthey. It's an independent mint, not government minted.
Right. Is that 1 ounce?
1 troy ounce, yes. The French make better toast. Yeah, they do.
It's something to stand there. I mean, to sit there like we've got some 1 ounce gold bars. And I mean, it's just something that, you sit there and hold that thing and thinking about, this is what makes the world go around. And you're actually holding something of some value. What is that?
This is a 3 ounce. I think they call it a poured bar. They get a mold and they just pour silver in it. And then they put a stamp on the back. This is by the Monarch Mint, also an independent mint.
Where are they from?
They're in the U.S.
Oh,
somewhere.
are they?
I don't know where they are.
Todd, why don't you get out one of them 1 pound ones you got and let us look at it.
For 1 pound. I keep those in my safe at the bottom of the deep end of my pool.
Okay.
Who's Troy? Troy ounce. Like you don't know the difference in a Troy ounce and what's the regular ounces called? Avoirdupois or something. What do they call those?
I don't know. Somebody have to look it up because I'm on my phone and if I start trying to do too much, I'll end up kicking myself out. I've got so I can switch from here to chat back and forth and feel confident I'll make it back in.
Yeah, like ounces that you measure liquids with and
Right. Fluid
food
ounces?
with. That's 16 ounces in a pound. But a troy ounce is 12 ounces in a pound. So it's just a different weighing system that they do for silver, gold, platinum. That's about all there is to show in this box.
Well, I probably weigh 400 troy ounces, and if we're going to use the troy ounce system.
Oh, there's a different Canada one. That's a wolf.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I think the people we bought our coins from, I think they had some on there.
There's the
With
queen.
her gracious majesty.
And this one's got a milk spot. If you're a collector or stacker, the Canada Mint, one of the processes to finish the coins used some kind of chemical to polish them or something.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few years, the coins develop little spots on them. I don't know if you can see it there in her hair. There's kind of a little white spot. And that's commonly called a milk spot.
Right.
And it
Well,
really
you take
detracts from the look of the coin.
you need to take it out and polish it.
Well, you can't do that or you'll mess up the finish of the coin. So yeah, since we got a couple of stackers here, I thought I'd show a few coins.
Y'all need to do a stacker show.
Yeah,
You know,
it's been about 6 weeks since we did it. We have done it. It's been about 6 weeks since we did. There's a link if anybody else wants to come on and chat. Get Jim and Tara in here. Get Jim to tell a few stories. Liven up the show on a Friday. So let's see. The plastic case weighs probably 6 ounces maybe. In regular ounces, I don't know if it weighs 5 pounds, 15 ounces. But in troy, that would be, I don't know what that would be. Hey, Tara, Jim. Hey, Tara.
He's coming, though. I hear him. Say hello, Jim. I'm on Todd's.
Oh.
Got any good stories?
Hello.
No.
Hello, Jim.
Any good stories?
Oh, what?
I don't know. Life experience?
You gotta lead into it.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Warm the oven first. Don't just shove in the turkey.
Oh, okay.
Tell us a story about silver. We're talking silver and gold this morning.
We don't really have any silver stories. I mean, I probably got about 65 silver, between piece and mercury dollars.
Yeah.
I don't have any like you have like some more modern ones. I mean, this is just stuff I inherited that, when I guess we're eliminating them, my family would just throw them in a box. I mean, we might have a couple newer ones that Jim's just accumulated from auctions or whatever, but like silver. I mean, I got those silver dollars that Norbert had. We didn't sell any dollars though. I did sell like when silver was high, like back, was that like 09 or
Oh yeah, I never
10?
sold silver dollars.
Yeah, I did do like some Franklin halves and Mercury dimes and stuff, and I'd sell some of that stuff.
Sadie.
Mr. Sadie.
What's up? What's up?
Dang.
Nothing.
I need a front row seat for Jim's stories.
No, I don't. He
Okay.
says you can't spontaneously ask for one. It has to be led into it.
It has right. It just has to be off the cuff,
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
flow naturally.
Yeah.
So, Tom
Like
or
Martin
Jim's
Lewis,
got
you
the
know, you
best stories
play it
about ex-loves, ex-women.
Oh boy.
That's some of his best stories is when he's talking about when he used to be a bartender back in the day.
That was after he got divorced the first time he became a bartender. He wasn't a bartender when he was young.
No. No,
That was
I went in the
my
bar.
wife left me and I'm out on the prowl again. I'll show her. I'll find a new girlfriend.
I worked at this guy who owned the bar. For whatever reason, he was working on some project or whatever, so he wasn't at the bar a lot. So he had his 2 daughters running it, and they were both in their early 20s. And they're like, "Well, you're here all the time anyway." Because I'd help them. They'd be like, "Oh, Jim, could you stock the coolers for me?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Because they
Okay.
were lazy.
Yeah, well, no, they go, "Well, I'll give you a
Hi,
beer if you
Carol.
go stock the cooler." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'd have done it anyway, but okay. So then they're like, "Well, you're here all the time. What, would you ever want to work for us?" So I'm thinking to myself, okay. They're like, "Well, you can drink all the beer you want." Okay, so free beer, I get paid to be here, and I'm going to be here anyway. Works for me.
Tell him about smoking though.
Yeah.
This is back when Jim
Oh, yeah.
still
Okay.
smoked. Okay.
So then the old man gets done with his project. I say old man, but he's like 8 years older than me. I'm behind the bar, and I got a cigarette. So he goes, "Oh yeah, Jim, you can't smoke behind the bar. You know, it's not good. Customers don't like it." Oh, I said, "Oh, okay, I see." So I didn't put my cigarette out. I put it in the ashtray, and I slid it across the bar towards where the bar stools are. Made myself a drink, grabbed my tips, made myself a drink, put the money in the register for the drink, slid the drink across the bar, and then walked all the way around the end of the horseshoe, came out on the customer side of the bar, and sat down, started having a drink. He goes, "What are you doing?" Because the place is getting busy. I go, "Oh, I quit." He says, "What do you mean you quit?" I go, "I'm not going to work. I'm not going to spend 8 hours working behind a bar and if I can't smoke." "Oh, and not smoke as much." "All right." Push my drink back on the other side, came back around, finished my cigarette. Because I didn't want the job, honestly. Anyway, I didn't really want to work there. I was just there. I was single, looking to mingle.
Yeah, and this is when Jim smoked. He smoked,
'Cause
so he wasn't going to give it up. While
If you
he's
think
working at a
about it,
bar.
who in the bar does pretty much every woman talk to? The bartender. You know, unless her significant other orders all the drinks, at one point or another, she's going to talk to the bartender. So I have like 90% of the women in the joint are going to have to talk to me.
I hardly ever talk to you.
It's true. And you made this weird. You did that weird thing where you did like a chipmunk holding a nut when she'd come up to the back end of the bar. Okay, it's hard to describe. It's like at this.
They had like a bottom room.
It was like a service rail or whatever. It really wasn't. There was no stools by it, but she'd come up to that and she'd put two hands on the sides of her
Captain and Cokes.
her old-fashioned tub that she'd drink her Captain and Cokes out of. But she'd have the straw and she'd just hold it with both hands and put her face down by the straw and like sip, but it was empty, like looking at me like, "Please, will you refill this?" So I thought, "Oh yeah, it's cute." And then about, I don't know, a couple months later, I started dating her.
So Sadie, you're looking really good this morning. Oh wait, you don't have your camera on.
Sadie's like you. He
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
really see his face.
Messing with you. I'm so disappointed with Sadie. I was watching him play some poker last night, and he had to blow up, man. He had a bunch of chips. He was doing really well.
But
And then
that's the thing, though. It wasn't really a blow up. It was. I mean, I
yeah,
was getting it in right. I mean, making good decisions, just bad luck.
yeah. He was getting like 3 or 4 hands in a row. He just got blasted off of really good hands that he started with. Anyway,
First of all, back up to Jim and his bar stories.
What?
This guy I went to high school with, his grandfather had this. It was a dive on the side of 49, which is a state road in South Carolina. It was probably 24 by 30. No, 24 by 40. There was no parking lot. There's maybe 20 feet between the edge of the road and the front of the building. At night, that thing was packed all the time. And when that old man
This one
died,
was too.
when that old man died, he left his children several millions of dollars because he didn't invest any into the to the facility. Believe me, because I went in it a couple times with my friend, but it was during the day when they were closed. On the weekends, they would open up at 4 o'clock and they would go to 4 a.m.
I think bar time in Wisconsin when I was still going out would be 2:30, and 2:30 that's it. It's done.
Well, at 4.
2? Oh.
At 4 on Sundays it was midnight.
I think like on like New Year's Eve it could stay open later.
You don't have to close.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can't open the bar before.
But honestly, by 2 in the morning, if you've been out drinking, you're so drunk you're not buying as many drinks anymore, and all you're doing is causing problems or whatever.
When I was in college, there was this place called the Athletic Bar, which I always thought was funny because the guy who owned it was like 400 pounds. But anyway, the Athletic Bar, they'd have like old, I mean, we're talking like 1950s sports jerseys and stuff on the wall.
Well, probably a lot of money on eBay.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was all, you can see, this guy was an athlete, like, you know, in the old days. But anyway, so he would open his bar early, but it was on the down low because we get off work around 5. I worked a graveyard shift. We get off work about 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we'd swing over to the Athletic Bar and have a few beers before we went home and caught some sleep. Of course, I didn't sleep because I had a class at 8 because I'm in college. But anyway, yeah, it was funny because he's like, don't tell anybody I opened this bar for you because it's not legal. Because in Wisconsin, you can't open a bar before 8 a.m. It's got closed by 2 a.m. and then can't open before 8 a.m. It's got to be closed from 2 to 8.
Oh Lord, y'all were. Jim needs his own. Somebody needs to sit down and write down all of Jim's stories and let him and then do a sitcom.
I know you think he's making it up. He's really lived his life for the first 57 years. He really lived.
Yeah, graveyard.
Except he did.
I wish I was making it up.
Except he did all that. I mean, by the time he got married the first time, he's pretty settled down. So a lot of his crazy stories are before he's 22.
Well, Jim, you know why they close at 2?
There he is.
I think it should close at midnight.
Well, you know the old saying: if you're not in bed by midnight, you might as well get home.
My thing with bars, 2 things with bars. They ought to close by midnight because after midnight, it's nothing but trouble. And the other thing that causes trouble in a bar is the opposite sex.
Oh, boy.
I ain't saying women shouldn't be in bars. I'm just saying they should be in their own bar. Women in their own bar and dudes
Why
in their
do
own
you
bar.
think women go to the bar?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's
To
where
hook up?
all the BS starts. Is all the argument.
Okay, well, when you go, like, when you were at the bar and all the girls would go over to Gio's, pretty soon all the dudes go over there too.
Well, I wouldn't be
looking for
thinking about it
tail.
because they wouldn't be allowed in Gio's
Oh,
either.
okay.
Just
You're
saying it
looking
should
at
be
yourself saying,
segregated.
oh, he shut it off.
Uh-oh.
Said he was like a farmer there, outstanding in his field.
I know. What you doing, Mr. Sadie?
I'm at Todd's house.
You what?
I'm at
Todd's house.
Well, that looks about like it.
What is that down there?
He's trying to get to the bottom of Todd's swimming pool.
That's right.
Is
He
that
just
like
said he's
walking path?
Todd just says it's at the bottom of his pool. You know, you move the bookcase out and you have to go down some rickety stairs.
That's a
and then
lot of
swing it-
money that's a lot of money in concrete there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the dog.
Oh, the driveway, yeah. That's Turbo out there. Yeah, that's the boss's house.
Oh, the boss's house. Yeah, he's got some property out
I'm
there.
working on the landscape lights around the gate.
He must have one of those great big mowers that does like an acre at a swath.
Oh, he don't have a single more.
He just hires it all out.
He ain't never cut grass a day in his life.
I don't blame him, but if I had a lot of money, I wouldn't cut mine.
I'd still cut my grass. I like it. It's when I can do all my best thinking because nobody's bothering me.
So there's a gate on a road, but no fence hooking up to it. So
Yeah, just a gate.
What's to keep people from just driving around the side of the gate on the grass?
Because they're like ants.
Well,
they get off the path and they can't get off the path, you know.
I just replaced all this Kangaroo pine in the gate right here. I did all that.
Cool.
That's a nice gate.
Yeah, he had put a lot of money in this entryway here. The neighbor was mad because these lights shine in his bedroom window at night, he says, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I tell him to close his blinds.
Where's his neighbor at?
Kind of like Christmas Vacation, where he turns on his
His closest neighbor's over there. I don't know if you can see. That's his closest neighbor over there.
So
he's got 18 acres.
The neighbor complains about the lights that are 2 miles away or something.
When I lived in Wisconsin, we had a neighbor across the street that would do that, and then they'd be like, "Oh, it's light pollution." I'd be like, "Shut up! I like to have yard lights on."
That's a nice gate. Is that yours or his?
That's his. That's Turbo Labradoodle.
Okay.
He's a good old boy. He's a good old boy.
Yeah.
So we're good friends. We spend a lot of time. I probably spend more time with him than Ed does.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Mr. Sadie's got the life of leisure.
Yeah. Not really.
And now he's gonna go up to the big house and have tea with the boss. And
yeah. I got the maid making me some crumpets and
you know, Jim had that caretaking job up in Wisconsin, and he got it when they bought the property, there was a full-time caregiver there, and they bought the property. The caretaker is with the property. I guess they hired him on, right, when they first bought the property.
No. That never was clear. They never made any arrangements with him.
Yeah. So the missus gets up
in her nightgown.
Goes. Their bedrooms were all mostly downstairs. I mean, they were big bedrooms, but they're mostly downstairs.
It was built into a hill.
Yeah. So here's the caregiver sitting on the couch drinking coffee, and that was it. He was done.
Yeah, he wanted to negotiate what his salary was going to be
for a new raise.
She says, "You can negotiate your ass out of my house." She goes, "You don't come into my house uninvited." The doors were locked. He keyed his way in. So he's sitting. She wakes up in the morning. She screams when she sees him. She's like, "What the hell is this in my living room?"
Jesus.
The guy was a little odd. So that
sounds like it.
She came to the office. I was helping my brother was just starting college, so he needed work. He needed a job, and I said, "You know what?" When I was working for the landscaping place, we used to do lawn stuff. I said, "You know what? Let's just put the word out that you cut grass or whatever. We'll get the lawnmowers going. We'll cut some lawns or whatever. I'll help you with that." So because we were doing that, my old man says, "Oh yeah, my son cuts grass or whatever." So then we wind up with this whole.
But that was like
we're doing retaining walls. We're doing rock flower plant. Just all cutting down trees. I mean, there's a whole.
Wasn't that like 1992?
Yeah.
Okay, because that guy that was working for the previous owner, he was making like $30,000 a year doing that gig in 1992, and way up north Wisconsin. That was pretty good money up there.
And I charged her. I thought it was a pretty fair. I charged up my time at $20 an hour, which is 92. I thought was a pretty fair price. And my brother's time was so when we were working together, it was $40 an hour, and we still only were able to rack up that summer like maybe $6,000.
Yeah.
But the other guy was taking in $30,000 a year. I'm like, doing what?
Salary, yeah. And he was like salary, wasn't he?
So
it's a tough business.
20 years.
You know, Jim, you seem to have been a go-getter ever since your youth. You
I was like 11.
What did you do? What did you do with all that money?
You spend it on
Tom,
cigarettes and
if
beer.
I could walk, if you could see where I'm at right now,
Good grief.
there's a lot of stuff, and we ship stuff out. If we didn't buy another single thing, we could go 20 years selling on eBay at the rate we do now. You know, maybe 20 units a day going out the door, and never have to worry about resupplying inventory.
Wow.
We got it all.
Yeah.
Well, but you also, when we commingled, I had stuff. I inherited stuff from 2 different family members, so we have all that stuff. We have stuff he got from his parents when his parents moved out of Eagle River. I mean, it's just pretty soon you get to an age and you've bought stuff and you inherit stuff and you realize, oh my God, I have a lot of crap.
Yeah, now we're just selling it all off.
Yeah.
Like trains, model train stuff. You know, we're never gonna do I'm never gonna do a train layout.
Oh my God, we have a huge amount of trains I got to go through and start
We're just
selling
it off.
Are you talking to Todd and people?
Yeah.
You
It's like me. I have almost all the crap I had when I was younger, but none of the money I made.
But you still have the stuff, and the stuff has value. You know what I mean? Because if you spent that money on other stuff, like let's say vacation, let's say expensive vacation. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love going on vacation too. But when let's say you spend $8,000 on a vacation and stuff, you got the experience. But at least I guess if I take $8,000 and buy a bunch of guns, I could go and resell the guns later, or go and resell the antiques later, and probably get back all my money.
But here's a thing, Drew, about cash. My mom sold 3 houses, bought one here in Kentucky with my sister and my brother-in-law. So the 3 of them are living in this one downsized house because just the 3 of them. My dad's gone.
No mortgage, paid off.
No, well paid. And then she's got this excess money from the other houses sitting in the bank. Well, that's dropped by, and I know everybody's saying 8%, but that's bullshit. So it's dropped by probably 15%. That money in value, that is the buying power of that money in the bank is dropped by, I would say, probably conservatively 15%. So that's a bad thing about storing up a bunch of cash. If it's not
right,
there's no way passbook interest is going to keep up with, or CD interest is going to keep up with the rate of inflation right now. It can't, or else the banks wouldn't make any money.
Yeah.
Well, I personally don't like to go anywhere. My wife loves to go, and I'm just the opposite. I mean, I could stay home forever. I mean, not just home, but I mean in the area.
I mean, and maybe that's a bad example, but I tried to think of something that, costs you money that you can't, other than the experience of it and maybe some trinkets, you don't get if you take that money and buy like stuff at auction, you can at least sell that stuff off and, you'll get back your money or
like
whatever.
we got a backhoe. When we're through with the backhoe and we don't need it anymore, we'll just sell the backhoe.
Yeah.
And we'll get the money back.
And we bought it right, and we'll probably get back exactly what we paid for it.
Yeah, because when we buy stuff, we don't overspend on stuff. We're the worst buyers.
Yeah, that's good.
We bought that
pickup
truck. And what did we pay for that pickup truck? Like
$10,500.
Okay, a little over 10 grand. But I was telling Jim, I said, like right now, if you had to go out and find that truck, I'm not sure we couldn't just go put that truck up for sale right now for like 15 grand, and we'd probably get it because people need those bigger trucks to like pull trailers and stuff.
Is that the 450 or whatever it is? The big one?
550.
550.
My little sister's got a 450. I don't generally drive her truck.
What does she do that she needs a 450?
Oh my God, it's a joke, Todd. Oh my God. It's a snowmobile joke. There's this, what the heck is that guy's name?
It doesn't matter.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. There's these videos we used to watch a lot, and he's like got a big thing of chew in his lip, and he looks like a hillbilly. He goes, so what are you guys doing here? Driving your sister's sleds? It's a joke. It's
because he's making fun of their snowmobiles, and they all got new snowmobiles, and he's got like one from the 1970s. It's just a total piece of shit.
It's my sister's truck. See, it's kind of like an F-150. It'd be like your little sister's truck.
Oh God!
What a man.
You're lucky Scott's not here with Big Red.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's got the 152.
I chuckle.
I've got
and
the little
I'm
one.
not making fun of Scott. I do chuckle when he calls the truck Big Red, though.
I like 150s because they're so easy to pull out of the ditch. You don't even need a truck; you can just push it out. Scott's so cute.
Yo,
I shouldn't be laughing. I just got the Silverado. I don't have the 2500 or anything. I just got the 1500.
I'm a Chevy person. I mean, we bought that F550, but Jim really likes this 1.3 diesel. It, obviously, you can tell it's an older truck.
One.
No, the red one. But I've always been a Chevy person. I like Chevys. I thought they
That's
built a
I've
better
had them.
Ford.
Yeah, I've had Chevys and Fords my whole life.
I mean, I think a Chevy rides better than a Ford. I mean, I guess I haven't been in a
100%.
new one.
You haven't been in
Yeah,
a new
100%.
one.
Well, I do
100%,
have
I
a
agree.
2005 3/4-ton Chevy, and it's a
That
good
rides like a
truck,
buckboard.
but it rides like a buckboard. It does have the heavy duty springs in it, but it didn't. I also had at one time I had like a 98 3/4-ton, which rode like a Cadillac, and then we got that 05, and I will say it was stiff in the springs.
Our
It rode like a
95
buckboard.
dually. We have a 350 or 3500 Sierra dually, and that thing rides real nice. That's
Yeah.
got a real smooth ride. And the red Ford does ride like a buckboard, but it'll pull something straight up a cliff. And
Yeah.
that's what I wanted. I needed a truck that would pull.
Well, my Silverado rides nice. It's just I've had my fair share of problems with it. Transmission and a bunch of major stuff has gone wrong since I've had it.
I've never had transmission trouble. Well, I had transmission trouble with an old S10 I had. The transmission went out in, but I can't say I ever really had transmission trouble with a Chevy.
Well, you're one of the few people, because that's one of the biggest complaints about Chevy products. Is their damn
No.
transmissions.
No,
Yeah,
you're wrong.
yeah. No, I'm not
a
either.
Dodge. That's a Dodge. You're wrong, Tom. Sorry.
I said complaints about the Chevys is they have transmission problems.
A truck?
Well, the
Yeah.
newer trucks, the newer trucks.
Well, newer one.
The newer trucks have had a lot of problems.
The newer SUVs, everything is they've had problems with them.
So you
I
gotta
mean,
take
2014 on, they actually collabed with Ford on transmissions from 2014 to like 2019 or something. This 10-speed transmission.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
That new.
we don't know nothing like
Hell yeah, well, that'd
2014.
be like driving a spaceship or something.
That'd be like the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah, does it fly?
Yeah, the guy that put mine in, he said he does about 10 a week. He's got a whole rack of them.
We had a really good friend up in Wisconsin, and he had a back lift because he did a lot of transmission rebuilding, and he'd have like a Dodge dually, Dodge 3/4-ton, I swear, up on that rack every week.
Every time you went
And
in
I
there.
said, you should put a sign up here that says this is the Dodge transmission rack.
But they were all chipped.
That's true. They were all chipped though too. You know, they chip them and they put that high performance stuff
chip
in.
your truck, you're wrecking it. 'Cause if the
I
performance
know the old
good
Ford
idea.
Tauruses.
they put it in at the factory. There's a reason the factory doesn't try to double the output of your engine or whatever and wreck your transmission. There's a reason the engineers they pay those engineers a lot of money to figure out how this thing can make it to 100,000 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Tara was just,
Silverado. The Silverado pickups are like the most unreliable pickups you can buy, according to like Car Week magazine and all
Well,
that.
are we talking about like the half tons too? Because I think people try to do too much with a 150 truck.
Yeah, I think it is mostly the half tons.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people, they go buy, you know, their new 150 or 1500, and they're towing a camper, they're towing a horse trailer and shit, and they're just doing too much with
The
it.
truck's not designed for it.
Yeah.
Trying to tow their house down the highway.
Yeah.
shut the hell up, Fish. You're from North Carolina. You.
I could see Tom driving a Chevy Love.
You know, my uncle had one. He was a mechanic, and he had one. Somebody brought it in and had a bad engine in it, and he was one of these people that he was a good mechanic. His son drove a Chevy Scout. Drove a Scout for the longest time in high school that had like a Chevy engine in it, because it came out of a wrecked car, and he made it work. But you know, Tara was talking about the nothing about the new trucks. That would be like a spaceship. A friend of my dad's, he had an F-100 pickup truck.
Oh, I remember those.
That was the first.
Those were cool.
That was the first truck he ever owned, and for his 60th birthday, his son sent that sucker off and had it stripped down to the chassis and rebuilt completely.
Because is that a quarter ton F-100?
Yeah, that was like a quarter ton.
Yeah, and didn't they have a small engine in them, like a V6 or something?
No, it had a small V8 in it. But anyway, he only drove it every once in a while after they did the redo on it, and he was driving around their pastures on their farm because they had like 5,000 acres down in Chesterfield County, and his grandson was riding with him. And he told him, son, roll your window down. It's hot in here. And he said he watched his grandson over there, because he was about 10 or 11. He's like, I can't find it. He said, find what? He said, the button to put the window down. He said, you got to grab hold of that big knob right there and twist it around and roll the window down. He said he got off the phone later on that afternoon. He said he called his son, the grandson's father, and said, what the hell are you teaching this for? He didn't even know what a roll down window was. And he said, Dad, you don't buy cars with roll down windows anymore, if they even make them.
Yeah.
We were at an auction 10 years ago. This kid picks up a rotary phone and shows it to the parent, and then is pointing at the dial and is like, what is this for? The kid had never seen a rotary phone before. And this was like 10 years ago.
Oh, now they do those videos where like, figure out how to use a rotary phone.
It will still work.
I remember when you had to pay extra to have touch tone.
I remember when you had to pay extra to have your own line where you didn't have to share a line with somebody.
Yeah. A party line.
I remember when we first got our first private, our second private phone. When we were in Chicago, we had our own phone. When we moved to Eagle River, we had a four-line party line. And we finally, I think it was 68, we got off it. But you'd hear the phone would ring and it'd be like, ring, 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 ring. It depended on who's ringing. You had to count the rings to tell who you were calling.
You're right. Or you pick the phone up and somebody's having a conversation.
Everybody listened.
My mom and dad would not pay for a private line when it was available in Charleston. And after everybody else, got private lines, and so we were on a line by themselves, they got used to that, and then they started adding people back to the line, and my dad's like, the hell with this, let's get a private line, which was a lot of money back in those days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, now you
my
can call.
son's having a yard sale tomorrow.
Who's having a yard sale?
And I guess I'm gonna. My son. I guess I'm gonna take a load of stuff over there tonight. And I've got a bunch of crap I need to get rid of. I'm gonna put one old boat motor in there and see how it does.
What is it?
It's like a 1940s. The one with the tank and the motor, and a real cool looking one. But the props broke, and it's a real small tar. It's like maybe like a 2.5 horse, 3 horse. Something. I don't know what they were.
Those might do better on eBay. I know you might get 2.5 horse with the tank in the top. Yeah, that. I mean, we used to buy like those 2.5 horsepower Johnsons. I haven't sold one for a while, but I mean, we used to get like $400.
And actually, those, if you go to Lowe's, you can get those 18 by 18 heavy duty cardboard boxes. You stack them. You can ship that motor.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I definitely double check that motor on eBay, because that one is one like people that have canoes. That's kind of desired size motor.
Yeah, they like it. Well,
yeah.
Or something like that.
Is that
less space? You can have it in your whatever, your workshop.
It's complete, but it would be a project motor. The props broke.
They want a project, because that's what this guy's going to do. It's like they take these old riding mowers, and they'll strip that riding mower down to the frame. I mean, they'll if there's a nut or something that's cross thread, they'll replace everything. I mean, so the thing's like factory new.
Is it like an Everett or Johnson, or is it a different brand?
I love those videos. No, it's not. I do have an old what's it called? A Ted Williams.
Yeah.
Right.
I have an old Ted Williams. It's like a 5-horse, I think, and I'm keeping that one for myself.
Yeah,
Ted Williams.
they weren't doing as good, but I haven't looked on eBay.
Ted Williams because it depends on what year it was, who made it.
Yeah.
Because it would.
Well, this Ted Williams is a little newer. Yeah, it's a newer motor. It's probably 70s or so, if I had to guess. Maybe even 80s. I don't know. But the other one I'm talking about, it's definitely 40s or earlier. It's really old.
You could order a Ted Williams right out of the Sears catalog and have it delivered.
They're all Sears. The Ted Williams, they licensed his name to put down,
and they put it on all
it's
stuff.
Like Craftsman.
Baseball mitts,
outboard
motors.
It's a Sears product. That's why they were made by. Some were made by Chrysler. Some were made by Elgin. Some were made by OMC.
Yeah, I paid $50 a piece for them about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
What size? I mean, what brand is the one that you're taking to the yard sale?
I can't recall exactly. Yeah, I can't think of it right offhand, Tom.
We've got my brother now has it. A Johnson, must be or an Evinrude. It was 1940, and it had the built-in tank and all that kind of stuff, and it was heavy to be such a little motor. But it had a knob up at the top, and if it started acting like it was going to die down, I think it was part of the choke system on it. You'd have to twist it one way or the other. And my dad got that boat for a
green.
Back in the red. Is that green or red?
It's red.
Oh, it's red, yeah.
But it was greener yesterday than it is red today, so evening out.
Yeah.
Well,
they said I heard on the news this morning 1 in 6 people are going to have problems paying their electric bill this next month.
There was an article in the paper yesterday about on the north side of Charlotte, I think it was Huntersville, people were getting $1,000 water bills because they jacked up their rates, but $1,000 for water bills.
Dang.
That is just it's an independent water company.
I gotta move my truck. The lawn guys here.
Okay. Well, it's after 10 o'clock too, so we got to go. Oh, wow. Todd, it's your show. If you can close it down.
Have a great weekend.
Bye,
yeah, y'all too.
Where did Tara and Jim go?
Jim had to go throw a few more peanuts in that internet machine so them squirrels would crank back up. But I got to get it.
It's really taking a dump now.
Well, the market's been open, an hour or two now?
No, just like 35 minutes.
Oh, 9:30.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
8:30 on the correct time.
Yeah, right. I think it's going to be a hell of a market between now and the end of the year. Just going up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yep.
But I guess people that can buy a bunch at one time of something and wait for it to go back up a little bit and sell it off and make some money off of it.
We'll see what happens. Well, I'll tell you what made money. We bought that house in Dallas for the boys. 2013. And we talked to 2 different realtors yesterday over at his house, at Gage's house. And he's going to sell it and then move into a condo where he doesn't have to
deal with anything.
Yeah. And that house needs $70,000 worth of renovations, which we don't want to invest in. That's one of the reasons why we're looking to move him out of there. But in its present state, as is, they're talking you could probably walk away with $135,000.
You ought to sell that damn thing right now, then.
And we only gave $65,000 for it in 2013. So it's more than doubled in value since we've owned it.
Because right now, the prices are starting to drop around here. And they're scared. The word on the street is that we're getting ready to have another bubble out here.
Yeah, they were alluding to that a little bit. They said, yeah, the market slowed down some. And it was because of the Fed jacking up interest rates on home mortgages.
Yeah.
And they were having talks yesterday too. I don't know whether they plan to raise it more or not.
Did y'all list it yesterday?
Kind of, sorta. We kind of made a semi commitment to a realtor that Gage is friends with.
Right.
You don't need a realtor to sell them, Todd.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I say that, and my husband, their whole family was in real estate, but like in this day and age, I mean, I have one more piece of I've listed a piece of property I sold without real estate agent.
All right, we're going to end today's show with a little live action.
Oh boy.
So.
Scary talk.
No, not that kind of action.
Yeah.
We're going to do a lift off here. See if I can get this thing hooked up. So anyway, yeah.
Did you buy it to film stuff?
Kinda. I don't know. I just bought it to play with. I haven't done much with it yet.
Jim bought one. He was going to film our property for sale, and he went and took it for a test run, and the wind got it, and it's still in a tree in northern Wisconsin.
Okay.
He should have let Brandon do it.
I don't know.
Brandon's probably got better hand-eye coordination. Because Jim's getting old and his reflexes are starting to slow down.
He was running across that pasture pretty fast. I don't think I could have run that fast.
So is he done with making trips up there for the...
No, I mean, we want to go up there this fall, and diesel prices are coming down, so that's good. It gets, that starts stinging when that costs, $1,000, $1,200 every trip. I don't have your kind of money, Tom.
Okay, I don't have a diesel.
That's the camera on the...
Oh, that's cool. Oh, you hook it up to your phone.
Yeah, all the controls are through a phone app.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can't even run this this thing without a phone app. So here we go. Let's see if it'll take off.
Don't turn into like a peeping Tom, flying over your neighbor's property.
You need to take it down and send it down the hallway and let it cruise up behind Gwen.
That's going up fast.
So it's just hovering there. So here's what it's looking at.
Can you say that guy from Wisconsin would just like fly over your house with an electrolyte?
So let's see if I can get it to circle. Oh, it came down. It's looking at me. No.
Oh no, you show your face. Now they'll all know where to find you. Okay, you're too happy. Get off.
I'm going to go on Fiverr and get Todd one of those animated characters to go as his place.
Cool.
All right, I got to go. The boss lady.
Bye, Todd.
That's Tom. Goodbye.
All right, Todd. I'll see you Monday.
Bye.
Bye, Tara.
Landed
Jim.
on my forehead.
Bye.
Yeah, an accident waiting to happen. All right. We'll see y'all Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Or we might be on Tom's channel. So, all right, folks. Thanks for tuning in and watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. Where's the off switch? End broadcast.